Good morning, Samson. And good morning, Kofi. And our friends on Zoom. And good morning to your cherished viewers. First of all, this morning, arrogant is beginning to look like a good word.
Nobody said that. Nobody says that.
But, and I like, the way Kofi, described things that are perceived in this country, that someone is arrogant. Now, first of all, on NAPO, as I know him, and he's been a friend. I mean, he's not a friend. I go and visit him more. We've been friends for the last 12 years, obviously in Parliament. So he's my parliamentary friend. One-on-one with NAPO as a friend or somebody, I've had a lot of intellectual, NAPO likes intellectual discussions, by the way. And I think he went somewhere, I think, to my old school for some conference, and that's University of Chicago. And I don't know what he heard about me. So he came in and we started a lot of intellectual discussions, all that. One-on-one, he's a fantastic guy. Hardworking, as I have heard. But you see, there are positive attributes that Kofi, you eloquently, brought out about people that are perceived to be arrogant. But there are also negative attributes as well. Yeah. That when somebody says you are arrogant, it could also be, or it's perceived that you are not somebody who listens. And that is the troubling bit. Now, it must be a very difficult, painful choice. I mean, I wasn't there, but when I look at the scheme of things and who NAPO is and all that, must have been a very, very painful choice by Dr. Bawumia to choose NAPO as his running mate. Because, as we've just described here, NAPO comes with excellent attributes, hard work, and this, that, all that.
And let's not run away from it. There are those who suggest that it's not a question of choice for Bawumia. His hands were tied to this. He had no option in the matter.
Well, I do agree. That's why I say it must be a painful one. Because I think the justification, and I'm not quite sure, Kofi, if, I don't know the lots. You probably have more information than I do. I don't know the lots that you are talking about that makes you think that Dr. Opoku Prempeh is the best among the lot.
Who is your option?
Well, I wouldn't want to have an option.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't wish MPP well, so...
I know.
But by the way, I wish NAPO well. Now, so when you obviously look at things, the justification for me, and he said his hands were tied, it's not what NAPO brings to the table. I mean, in terms of his intellectual capacity and all that. It is not what NAPO brings to the table, it's where NAPO comes from.
I disagree with you.
And that is the Ashanti region.
I disagree with you, but it's your time.
And for me, that is what makes it a painful choice for Dr. Bawumia to... This is a guy who probably will bring something to the table, but his hands were tied because they felt that the Ashanti region could become a problem for the MPP, and for that reason, somebody like
strategic
NAPO,
thinking.
Yes, NAPO will take the. Could be strategic thinking can be painful. Mm-hmm. So
you see how difficult it can be. I can see how you appear to want to think deeply before you say what you want to say. We are in this country, Chachuchikata, for example,
Yeah.
in the NDC. That's the figure of legal illumination. Many outside of the NDC agree with that. But the NPP largely will say that's an arrogant man. Right? I suppose Akufo-Addo would not say so because he sat at the same bench with him, at the same bar with him to do cases together, and they know each other. That's the problem. You still don't agree?
But here is
that people may appear brash,
here is the thing.
provocative, but they are not exactly arrogant.
But Samson, hear this. You can actually be all the positive things, and I come to you, Kofi, not because I'm trying to pick on you. All the positive things that Kofi has said that is perceived in this country to be arrogance. You can actually be all those things without anyone also calling you arrogant.
You'll be superhuman to do that in this
because there are people.
Right, there are.
There are people.
There are.
Who, there may be few, but there are people. Now, what is my problem here is that when you are in public life, when you are a public servant, all these attributes need to be communicated in a way that portrays you as the servant of the people.
We learn.
When it doesn't come out that way, nobody wants, we are politicians, we are supposed to be servant of the people. Nobody wants to be served by an arrogant person. You wouldn't get a house help or somebody who is an arrogant person to come and serve you. So that for me is the troubling bit about somebody being labeled as arrogant.
How would you explain
the
his
perception.
serious popularity? He has some very strong following. How does an arrogant person garner that?
Well, you can be arrogant and have following.
Well, okay.
You can be arrogant and have following.
So let's conclude on this note.